In many rural regions, wild boars continue to pose a significant challenge, threatening crops and local livelihoods. One experienced hunter is leading a dedicated effort to manage the growing boar population through a combination of strategic trapping and night patrols. The day begins beside a large, round metal trap, where a group of wild boars can be seen pacing and squealing in distress under the bright sunlight. Their agitated movements suggest heightened stress and awareness, a common response when confined in daylight. The hunter observes them closely, estimating both their size and numbers, carefully planning the next steps to ensure the situation remains under control. Safety remains a top priority, as a single escape could result in considerable crop damage. Even after a successful daytime trapping, the work continues. Later, a subdued boar is seen being loaded onto the back of a utility vehicle by the team, demonstrating the physical effort required in every capture. As night falls, a flashlight beam reveals another trap, this time holding a much larger, solitary boar. The animal shows signs of aggression, struggling intensely within the confines of the cage. This particular individual poses a significant threat due to its size and strength, and its capture marks a meaningful win for the surrounding community. However, success in this line of work is never guaranteed. On another night, during a routine inspection of a smaller trap, a wild boar manages to find a weak point and escape, highlighting the intelligence and agility of these animals. Such instances underscore the need for continuous improvements in equipment and technique. Persistence proves effective. At a separate location, another wild boar lies motionless within a trap after exhausting itself in failed escape attempts. Its calm demeanor now signals the end of that encounter. Proper trap placement and effective baiting continue to yield results. In situations where passive trapping is insufficient, a more proactive approach is adopted: night hunting. With thermal imaging equipment mounted on a specialized rifle, the hunter prepares for late-night patrols. In the darkness, wild boars appear as bright silhouettes on the thermal scope, moving across the open fields. One is quickly targeted and brought down with a well-timed shot, while the rest flee in multiple directions. Precision and calmness under pressure are critical. As the night progresses, another boar is spotted attempting to reach cover in the brush. Carefully tracking its movement, the hunter calculates the angle and takes the shot. The field soon erupts into activity as a larger herd appears, offering both an opportunity and a challenge. Multiple shots follow in quick succession, and several animals are intercepted before they can escape. Despite the success, the unpredictability and speed of wild boars remain a constant challenge. Open terrain provides better visibility, allowing for improved targeting and more efficient population control. From elevated ground, whether on a hill or a vehicle, the field of vision expands, helping to monitor herd movements and respond quickly. As dawn breaks, the final shots of the night echo across the landscape. A few more boars are stopped in the early morning light. The hunter reflects quietly on the night's efforts, recognizing the ongoing need for vigilance and preparation. Wild boar management is not just about the immediate results. It's part of a larger mission to protect agriculture and maintain balance within the ecosystem. Through a combination of observation, advanced equipment, and field-tested strategies, the team works to limit the damage caused by these increasingly common animals. Every action taken in this effort is guided by responsibility to safeguard the harvest, to protect community livelihoods, and to ensure that nature's balance is upheld in a sustainable and humane way. Each encounter with wildlife offers new insight into both the natural world and human resilience. These moments serve as ongoing lessons, reflecting the deep connection between people and their environment. This presentation aimed to provide a clearer understanding of the strategies used to manage wild boar populations, particularly in challenging regions. Viewers are encouraged to explore further and reflect on the information shared. Turning now to a different region, France is home to one of the largest wild boar populations in Europe. These animals are commonly found in forests, grasslands, and rural zones, especially in areas such as the Vosges, Ardennes, Pyrenees, and Corsica. In recent decades, a sharp population increase has led to growing concerns regarding environmental disruption, agricultural losses, and wildlife control efforts. Current estimates suggest that wild boars are responsible for between 30 and 50 million euros in crop damage annually, primarily affecting corn, wheat, and grape production. In response to this, France has developed a structured hunting system, governed by strict regulations. Each year, between 700,000 and 800,000 wild boars are hunted, a substantial rise from around 400,000 in the 1992. Hunting in France is not only a traditional activity, but also a critical tool in controlling the wild boar population, reducing economic losses, and preserving biodiversity. The official hunting season generally spans from August to February. However, certain regions may extend the season based on local population density and impact levels. Outside the regular season, hunting is only authorized under special control programs approved by local authorities. Approximately 600,000 licensed hunters participate in organized hunting activities throughout France. Wild boars account for the majority of big game hunting, with group hunts proving most effective in densely populated areas. Around 70% of wild boars are hunted through coordinated group methods. The broader hunting industry plays a crucial role in supporting rural and regional economies, far beyond what many might initially assume. It generates substantial economic value and helps sustain tens of thousands of jobs across a diverse range of sectors. These include the manufacturing and retail of hunting equipment, such as firearms, ammunition, clothing, and tracking technology, as well as professional guiding services that provide expertise to both local and international hunters. In addition, the industry bolsters meat processing operations that transform wild game into marketable products, contributing to both domestic consumption and niche export markets. Among the many animals hunted, wild boar holds a distinctive place, not only due to its ecological impact, but also because of its cultural and culinary value. Wild boar meat is increasingly recognized as a high-quality, flavorful product and is regarded by many chefs and gastronomes as a delicacy. As a result, it often appears on the menus of fine dining restaurants, where it is prized for its lean composition, rich taste, and the sustainable narrative associated with ethically sourced wild game. Although hunting takes many forms throughout the year, night hunting comprises a more specialized segment of this broader activity. It is estimated to account for approximately 10 to 15% of total hunting practices. However, despite its smaller share, it is an essential tool in certain regions due to its effectiveness in managing high-density boar populations that cause considerable agricultural damage. Because of its potentially sensitive nature, night hunting is subject to strict legal controls and regulations. Typically, it is permitted only during specific months of the year, most commonly between August and February, to align with seasonal wildlife management goals and to reduce disruption to non-target species. In regions such as Grand Est, Nouvelle-Aquitaine, and Occitanie, night hunting is practiced more frequently. These areas experience elevated wild boar populations, which pose persistent challenges to local farmers. Crops such as vineyards, cornfields, and grain fields are particularly vulnerable to damage, making nocturnal control efforts not only justified but necessary. Local authorities and wildlife management agencies monitor population density and agricultural impacts closely to determine where and when night hunting should be authorized. Nighttime operations require specialized tools and trained personnel to ensure safety and effectiveness. Hunters employ advanced technologies such as night vision goggles, thermal imaging scopes, and infrared cameras to detect animals in low-light conditions. In addition, experienced hunting dogs are often used to track and contain the animals within a designated area. The use of this equipment helps minimize the risks associated with poor visibility, while maximizing efficiency. In 2021 alone, approximately 5,000 individuals across France were granted special permits to conduct night hunting in approved zones. These permits are typically issued to licensed professionals or experienced hunters who have completed additional training and who commit to following strict operational guidelines. The overarching objective of these efforts is not recreational but preventative, to mitigate ecological and economic harm caused by overpopulated wild boar herds. By reducing the likelihood of crop destruction and habitat degradation, night hunting contributes to a more balanced coexistence between wildlife and agricultural livelihoods. In sum, while night hunting may represent a relatively small subset of the larger hunting industry, its strategic importance cannot be overstated. It demonstrates how regulated wildlife management, guided by science and supported by law, can serve both environmental stewardship and economic sustainability. Overall, wild boar hunting in France is a clear example of the balance between sustainable wildlife management and economic necessity. National training programs for hunters reinforce responsible practices, including the need to avoid overharvesting and to maintain ecological stability. Supported by data from reliable sources, the current approach in France demonstrates a viable model for addressing wildlife overpopulation while preserving natural ecosystems and rural livelihoods. In closing, viewers are invited to reflect on how strategic wildlife control efforts contribute to long-term sustainability. The goal is not merely population reduction, but a comprehensive framework for coexisting with nature. Finally, a brief introduction to the team behind this initiative. The script development is led by a passionate and innovative young professional who combines storytelling with a deep interest in global sustainable agriculture. Her work brings meaning and clarity to each production. The channel is further supported by a dedicated editor and producer whose commitment ensures that every video meets high standards and offers valuable insights. Together, the team strives to create content that educates, informs, and inspires. Viewers are welcome to follow future episodes and continue supporting this educational journey.